A Worldview from London with Adam Gilchrist.
In Sudan, we've had over the weekend
Sure.
citizens, but also members of diplomatic missions of many countries fleeing, evacuating from the capital Khartoum. Nations are still scrambling to have their diplomatic missions and as well as their citizens in those countries try and evacuate as quickly as possible from Sudan.
Yeah, it's an awkward thing, isn't it? Because on the one hand, you wouldn't want to be caught up in Khartoum at the moment. It's a city of millions of people, but it's basically a battlefield. And so you wouldn't want to be there if you didn't have to be. And indeed, countries have looked at this and thought, no, we need to yank our diplomats out and their dependents, their families, etc. But at the same time, there's a bit of cut and running here going. You sort of think this doesn't really help Sudan. What about some more diplomatic moves? What about, and if you don't have diplomats there, you can't make those moves. And what about the United Nations? Where are they in all of this? And I also have to say, having pulled out diplomats, and obviously I'm in a country where we're focusing at the moment on the British side of things and how they pulled out Brits and their dependence to an RAF base in Cyprus. But the Americans, French, Germans, Italians, there are quite a number of countries who pulled their diplomats out, but not their citizens, not as in normal people. You and I would be stuck right now in a country that they've deemed too unsafe. And so we're also hearing about stories of people trying to drive themselves to the border, and it's like 2-3 days to get to the border with no guarantee of safety as they go, having to take everything they can with them, supplies, no guarantee they'll get across the border, visas come into play. I mean, who at the moment is in charge? And if you don't have any diplomatic missions there, then you don't have any representation either, do you?
And then to Russia we go. An explosive own goal, Russia bombing one of its own cities.
Extraordinary that they did this. Basically, the Kremlin has admitted they accidentally dropped a bomb on Belgorod at the end of last week. And then they found an unexploded bomb in the same city, presumably from the same bomb drop. When the first one dropped, it damaged a few houses, injured quite a few people. Nobody, I believe, killed. But as the Defense Ministry in Moscow put it, we accidentally discharged aircraft ordnance. They bombed their own city, accidentally or otherwise. Well, no, it was accidental. Let's assume it was. 3,000 people, though, got evacuated over the weekend because they found this extra bomb, an undetonated explosive anyway. And although they haven't said it's from the same aircraft, nonetheless, this city is 40 kilometers from the border with Ukraine. So you can see how the route goes. Yeah. I mean, bombing civilians is highly controversial, but bombing your own civilians, that's a different degree, isn't it?
And then finally, described as tasteless, unethical, even illegal. A German magazine coming under intense fire for a bogus interview with Michael Schumacher. As we know, that Michael Schumacher is in a state of paralysis after the 2013 accident, and from what we know, he's not even able to communicate.
No, absolutely. As far as we know, he hasn't been seen in public, I have to say, since the accident, since severe head injuries, and we're talking over 9 years ago now, the 7 times Formula One world champion. But Die Aktuelle in Germany ran a front page cover with a headline, Michael Schumacher, the first interview. In fact, an interview generated by artificial intelligence, an AI program that gave us the quotes, I can, with the help of my team, stand by myself and even slowly walk a few steps. Other quotes, my wife and my children were a blessing to me, and even without them, I would not have managed it. And they support me and are standing firmly at my side, all completely made up. Now, you could argue none of it is particularly controversial or harmful, but it's made up. It is the classic fake news. So Michael Schumacher's family say they will take legal action against Die Aktuelle, although the editor has been sacked and the owners of the magazine are apologizing like crazy. Pointless and tasteless. But here's a worry though, Lester. Is AI journalism the future? AI is creeping in other parts of life. Think about driving your car. Oh boy, if we get more of this stuff, where do we go?